Well, the founders of Blizzard Entertainment, not the husk of the company it has become, but the OGs, the creatives, the visionaries, made their own gaming studio. And one of the first games they've made is called Wildgate. That's what we're going to be checking in on today. This is a reaction video from a new friend of ours, is going to be Aztecross. Needs no introduction. Dude's got almost 1 million subs. He'll get it very soon with the quality content he's putting out. We're going to link this at the end, of course. We're going to go support him. We're going to give him a like. We're going to sub to the channel. Make sure you go support them as well. This is going to be a look at Wildgate. We're going to be playing this today on stream as well. Thank you to the devs for sending me a game code. Appreciate it. We're going to check it out and see what these devs have cooking. We're going to keep looking at space games. How's this game? How does it play? What the heck is Wildgate? Let's see what's in store for us.
You ever just play a game and like halfway into playing it, you're just like, dude, this is just fun. Like no rationalizing, no justification you're trying to reach for. It's just a game, and by God, it's a hell of a lot of fun. That has been my experience with Wildgate. Now, from the folks that have jumped into the stream asking us, what is Wildgate? Really, the only way we can explain it to them is that, hey, this is like Sea of Thieves, but in space. It's got a mix of PvE.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Sea of Thieves in space. I have so many good memories in Sea of Thieves. We'll probably try to do like a community night with Sea of Thieves. This is such a good idea. And we cover space games, but Sea of Thieves is kind of a space game if you really, the space. What is space if not, water just in dark matter? And what is the void of space, if not an open ocean with endless possibilities? This is already shaping up to be a good idea.
But in space, it's got a mix of PvE, it's got a mix of PvP, it's got the ability to customize your weapons, your loadout, your ship, and this leads to some of the most interesting encounters.
The cartoon style it has reminds me of WildStar, and I'm getting some real feels about how this looks. I actually love this art style. See, this is like, this kind of thing is what I wish on, what the hell was it called? I actually forgot what it's called. Marathon, because it's a dead game. This is how I wish Marathon was, where just a little bit muted. Bright colors, good first persons, and it reminds me of WildStar. It's kind of like happy, right? Like the art style is very like joyful, I could see it literally, it looks like how you're supposed to feel. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I think you're supposed to feel joyful because the art style is joyful. And again, this is from the makers, the founders of Blizzard back in the day, not the current company, but the actual people that had creative minds. Okay, so
Loru just invoked the Eldritch God Wildstar.
I did chat. Rest in power,
Your weapons, your loadout, your ship, and this leads to some of the most interesting encounters I have ever experienced inside of a game. You see, it's one thing to be like, yo, I just won my 1v1, or my team just beat that other team. And although, yes, the dopamine high of experiencing those things is really good, inside of WoW,
he's in an FPS game, and he just went. First of all, you can shoot out the ship. We're going to play this today. We're going to see it. He's in the ship fighting over some control point. He exits the ship, goes on top of the ship, continues FPSing. I mean, did they make this game for me?
Wildgate, it goes up another level. In Wildgate, you've got strategy, team synergy, all just being mixed together in a ball of chaos that is both equally fun to play as it is to watch. Which is why if someone asks me, what is Wildgate? Fellas, it's just a stupid fun game. With that being said,
fellas, remember when games were fun? I want to promote and play games that are fun. We play EVE Online. Game's fun. Don't let bitter vets or people that have never played the game tell you different. We play Dune Awakening. Game's buggy. Just launched. Still one of the best games I played in 10 years. Is this another incredible fun game? We're going to find out today.
Today I wanted to dive into the history of this game. Its developer, its publisher, its gameplay mechanics. And then I also want to talk a little more about my own experience with this game. But let's start at the...
Why does this matter? Why am I showing you a video about some dude's opinion on the game? It matters because I saw this and I saw, oh, he talks about the history of the game and the devs. I think that's important now. If you've seen some of our other videos, you know. My lunch is coming back to bite me, okay? I love hot sauce. I will not apologize. I want to be able to have y'all understand our goal when we do these reactions is to help you to see where you want to spend your money and your time. Too many games right now are being put out to milk player bases instead of being their main goal to make a good game. I felt this way about a lot of the recent FPS titles and a lot of the recent exploration titles. No Man's Sky is a really good showcase of a game that started off rough, but because of their passion, they were able to make one of the best games in decades. Quantifiably, objectively, No Man's Sky, amazing space game, 10 out of 10. And if you don't like crafting games, that's fine. EVE Online, it's improved so much so, it's easier to play EVE Online now than ever before. The new player experience has been rehauled, revamped. It's so good now, and they don't hold your hand. They let you experience stuff while they're more guidelines than actual rules. Okay, so it's dang capitalism coming in, I tell you. So if we see a good game made by a passionate group of people with good monetization strategy, that's fun, bro. That's a unicorn in 2025, a unicorn that I'll promote and make guides on and help y'all play better. Okay, let's see about it.
The root of all of this, that being Dreamhaven. You see, Dreamhaven is not just the developer of Wildgate here. They're also the publisher. You see, beneath its umbrella, there are two separate studios, that being Moonshot and Secret Door. Moonshot is the team behind Wildgate, and Secret Door has developed a base tactical RPG called Sunderfolk. Now, these are both...
Some of you might see this and think, mobile games? That sucks. You don't understand how good it is that these guys have another title. Let's say you start a gaming studio and you're ambitious. You want to make this. Okay. You want to make space combat sim FPS. This is hard to do as your first game. We're talking artists, marketing, combat, story writers, voice acting. This is, I see bugs. I instantly like that's right, Credo. There it is. This is hard to make from your first game. You know what's not hard to make as your first game? A puzzle game that is not necessarily simple to play, but is simpler to develop and make. The fact that all their eggs are not in one basket, the fact that a new gaming studio understands you have to start small and make a little game before you make the game you actually want to make. Let this make them some money. So the pure monetization is not just on Wildgate. This is a good thing. And this matters even more when they're also the publisher. See, I was at a gaming studio briefly, but I've still been able to see behind the curtain due to my work in marketing and advertising. I've been able to talk to devs and talk to the other side of the aisle that many of you haven't seen. And the publishers and the devs are at odds with each other, which then they're both at odds with us. Want to know why the games are so expensive right now? Want to know why $80 games are happening? Because publishers are pressuring developers. Typically, roughly speaking, developers are where the passion is or where the ideas are. Publishers, that's the devs. The publishers are the things that actually make the game, bring it to market. When you buy a physical copy of a game, it's the publisher that makes those things. The publishers want to squeeze the devs for money. The devs want to actually, and the publishers have a chokehold, a stranglehold on the industry right now, and they're forcing, roughly speaking, a lot of these devs to do things they don't want to do monetarily. The fact that Wildgate's devs, Dreamhaven, are just, the fact they're both publisher and dev means they don't got to negotiate with anybody, or at least they negotiate with less people. So the prices, hopefully, are more affordable. Let's see. Let's find out.
A base tactical RPG called Sunderfolk.
Already
these
good
are
vibes.
Both the first
Already.
games present on each respective studio's
good, too.
rosters. Dreamhaven has also partnered with a few other studios to help publish games like Mechabellum and Linked, Banner of the Spark.
Oh, they made Mechabellum? This was a very popular game. Day 9, one of the OGs who I still follow, but I don't watch anybody's content right now. I saw, because I make stuff. I don't watch things. Mechabellum. Man, he played the heck out of that game. Day 9 needs no introduction. This game was very popular. It was like this very turn-based mech PvP thing. Really, really cool. So.
Now, this is not a huge list of titles by any means, but that's mainly because Dreamhaven hasn't been around very long. Mike Morhaime, who is the CEO of Dreamhaven, was also the CEO and co-founder of, get this, Blizzard Entertainment. He left Blizzard back in 2019 and founded Dreamhaven, bringing in talent from across the industry to start.
How has Blizzard been doing in the last 6 years? Has World of Warcraft been getting better? How'd Shadowlands go? Did you guys have fun? Did you guys have fun and those expansions? Oh, you didn't. Maybe it's because the guy left. You got to understand, chat, when we look at video games, it's like if they sold Harry Potter and all of a sudden the books that are coming out aren't as good because the heart behind it is like not exactly there anymore. Okay. So there's more to it than that, but that's another video.
are making their own games independent from corporate control that's present in the AAA industry. Now, on their website, you can scroll through the list of team members across all of their studios, and each bio lists their earlier experience. Now, Mike made it clear in an interview with PC Gamer that Dreamhaven doesn't allow the business teams to dominate game development. It's a part
Chad, this is literally it. Okay. We were just talking about this. This sentence is what I was saying 2 minutes ago, but succinct. Publishers, developers, marketing, sales. We want to make money. How about you make a good game? That's what this sentence reads. Okay. Now, to be fair, Gonlink, you're right. They all claim this is how we do it. Star Citizen says it, but we judge things by their fruit, as the Bible says. Not by what they say, by their actions is what that means. Because your actions have fruit. Your actions can either, the analogy is, if you're a tree, your actions can either lead good tasting fruit that is like pleasant to the eye and pleasant to taste, or it can lead to bitter fruit. And what you feed yourself, what you do, what you have reveals itself in time. Let's find out.
Teams to dominate game developments. It's a partnership with both teams working together. While the games they develop don't fall under the same genre, they all focus on multiplayer experiences, essentially games that we can share with others. Which brings us to Wildgate. This game consists of 5 teams, 4 players being present in each of these. Essentially, at the start of a match, you'll be
20 players in a match. So it's a match-based game, okay?
Scattered across the map with the explicit goals of exploring, looting, and of course, destroying the other team. Now, it's a sizable map here, guys, but what I really love about it is just how densely packed it is with all sorts of things to do. And you want to do as much as you can before you encounter enemy players, as engaging the PvE side of things is what's going to allow you to outfit your ship, making it stronger throughout this match. Now,
I love this style of game where you kind of start playing PvE before you gear up, whatever, before you start fighting other players. It gives you that. I like the choices that gives you. And this reminds me a lot of the Division 1's survival game. Remember, there's like a sub game inside of the Division 1 where you can go into like the wintry area, and there's a survival element where you fight the PvE to gear up. You start with nothing. We start with a pistol and a scarf, right? And you have to gear up until you can finally fight players. You have no skills, no abilities. You get skills, you get weapons, and then you can go into the dark zone. You can fight stuff. I love that. Love that. Makes me very happy.
Each one of these matches have 2 win conditions. Either you destroy all of the enemy teams, or you capture an item called the artifact. Essentially, upon capturing this artifact, you then ferry it through the Wildgate, hence the name of the game. However, the artifact location is not revealed at the start of the match, and the Wildgate itself is not powered up. Now, you'll notice at the top right of your screen, there's a percentage slowly rising over time. Now, upon this reaching 100%, the location of the artifact will be revealed, and a Wildgate will open. Now, again, guys, not really sure what determines how fast the percentage rises. I've seen it take anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes. Personally,
that was one of my first questions is, okay, how long is a match? 10 minutes, too short. 45 minutes, too long. That 20 to 30 window, really like that in terms of gameplay, okay? It's one of the things I think was wrong with the Division 1 survival gameplay, because matches could last an hour or more. And if you get to the end and you die, you're just like, ugh, I just spent an hour, but then you go back in and you're just like, I gotta do it. 20 minutes or 30 minutes sounds pretty good.
My goal has been to kill other players every single time. But I do like that there's 2 objectives that can ensure victory. But the big thing is that these matches are long, which they need to be, because the goal is to explore the map, engage in as much PvE content as you can, and prep.
Oh, he was saying that the Wildgate reveals itself at the 20 to 30 minutes. We'll see how long this is.
Your ship, which is the #1 priority. Upgrading your ship with all the goodies. You see, across the map, there are multiple floating structures. There's also giant asteroids containing PvE combatants and objectives. Now, when you clear out one of these points of interest, you'll then be directed to a room full of loot, most of which are ship upgrades. We're talking new weapons, security alarms, extra thrusters. There's even bombs that you can pick up and install on enemy ships. You can quite literally get a ram. Now, the more upgrades you get, the better. And as you can see here, your
a space battering ram. Things I didn't know I needed, dude. What the heck, dude?
Ship is equipped with a ton of different hard points to install these upgrades. So essentially, as you loot more points of interest, you'll be able to choose what functionality you care about adding the most. Now, at the core of your ship is this reactor, and it needs both fuel, ammo, and cooling to heal your ship when it's damaged, as well as firing the onboard weapons and performing a boost to increase the speed for your ship for a short period of time. Now, you'll find ammo as loot from PvE encounters. You can even get upgrades for your ship that generate ammo. But this is where the gathering side of the game comes in. You see these red and pink asteroids? When you actually go mine these, they drop the fuel that you need to boost your ship. And then these ice...
Let's go. You get... Man, so you're starting to see the roles, okay? You got the pilot. You got the gunner, you have the miners, you got the people that are going out to the asteroids. Man, let's go, dude. Yeah, you're speaking my language, I tell you.
Crystals are the coolant that you'll need to mine in order to repair your reactor when needed. I really like this because certain classes that are really good in the mobility sector, it's really nice to get to these spots.
And then the characters have different classes. See, when games are simple on the surface, but there's depth to how you play it at the polls. Love that. Let me hop in a match with my buddies and have fun. But let the dude in our squad that's going to play all weekend get real good and carry us next time. You know what I mean?
Mine in and then instantly teleport back to the ship, which by the way is something you could do anywhere in the game. At any point, you can actually hold down the teleport button and teleport straight to your ship. Now I want to circle back to some of those PvE encounters that we talked about earlier. Some of these are actually pretty difficult with some slight mechanics involved. For instance, if you find a vault or an artifact, you'll have multiple waves of ads and a boss to deal with. The good thing is that you can respawn allies. There's also recharge stations for resources like abilities, ammo, and oxygen. But keep in mind, when
he just rezzed his buddy and another guy died. So there's raids. Cool. So you like choose your experience. So is this like TF Classic? I don't know, Zerg. We're going to find out today. That's what we needed, some TFC movement. I mean, hey, your boy was a spy main. Oh, chant. Red spy in the base.
Engaging these PvE enemies, an enemy team could literally sneak your ship. But guys, it is worth the risk. If you know that there is actually going to be purple weapons or purple upgrades inside of that area, fellas, it's worth it. Go in there, tank out those ads, kill them as quickly as you can, grab the best weapons you could possibly get, teleport straight to your ship, and upgrade away. These weapons...
Right, because you're off your ship while you're in the raid. You know? And then you come back with better gear. But you're off your ship for a while. So if you see like a ship where no one's in it, man, so think about that. Like you scout out a ship where no one's in it. And then you might say, you know,
guys, there's nobody in ship A over here. That means there must be in the raid. We got to push the artifact while they're in the raid.
Or something, you know, like we can push another objective, or do you cut them off? Do you take the ship out? Those kind of choices. I love, I'm actually...
This right here will make all the difference and will be the deciding factor of whether or not you will achieve victory. These are massive improvements to your ship, and where you place them is also important. For instance, if you've got a really good captain who's good at driving the ship, who likes to play aggressively and push the enemy, then you want your best cannons, your best weapons on the front of the ship, and you want everyone to focus on those weapons. At the same time, if you're getting lit up and you got to get out of there, then it's also good to have some weapons on the back. There was even like this cannon that would push the enemies away from me. And in that situation...
the number one thing I want in Eve. I want the Hammerhead Corvette from Rogue One. I want a ship that does damage when you... Okay. I want so much to be able to go ramming speed and hit something head on. Sounds great to me, dude.
That would really be good to get the enemies off your tail, to create some distance there for you to escape. Now, you probably noticed that each of these ships are equipped with shields, and they can be toggled off or on. When the shields are down, you actually get more speed for your ship. Definitely not something to do mid-fight, though, as these are absolutely necessary for you to survive. Now, after you break through the shield, that's when you can start doing damage to the ships itself. And even better than that, you can actually do damage.
Look how the shield is like a shell. You can kind of see that he's doing damage to like this section, right? And then when it breaks, that's open, but there's still shields in this area. I like that. I've never seen a shield done like that in a video game. That's pretty sick.
That's when you can start doing damage to the ships itself. And even better than that, you can actually do damage to the crew members. For instance, if you see an enemy crew member operating either the ship or one of the turrets, you can directly shoot them and kill them on that turret, which is highly advisable. And everything here pretty much has a function when you shoot it. From destroying parts of the ships, inhibiting some of the onboard systems from functioning, blowing out doors, causing oxygen supply to dissipate, shooting the engines will slow the ship down, and of course, targeting the guns themselves to eliminate a crew's ability to return fire. Now, throughout
you're seeing different kinds of weapons. Like this looks like a bomb launcher. We're seeing like a laser. It looks like an entropic disintegrator. Nice. Yeah. It definitely looks interesting. For sure, Blofeld. Yeah.
Yes, your ship will be taking damage as well, and you'll have to repair it. For instance, I have one of these robot drops, which essentially repair things for me. You have a repair kit on your character itself. Cool. And then, of course, hitting the ice for your reactor will cool things back down. Now, throughout this process, you can also be boarding the opposing vessel. This is where things get crazy. Awesome. You can actually take a bomb, run over to the enemy ship, plant the bomb, and proceed to kill some of them before dealing hefty damage in turn.
Oh no. I just found my job. Oh no. I excel at flanking roles. When I played Overwatch, I would beat Tracer. Not as a meme. I was okay. I was never great. I was never tournaments, whatever. But I played a real good flank. Oh, your healers are in the back? Not anymore. Now they're gone. Okay. When I was playing Division 1, I was a sniper. I was overwatching stuff. If we're fighting on this street, I'm going a street over and trying to go around and behind so I can surprise them. Shot grenades down, pop them in the head, keep it going. This, well, you know I like a good stealth build, Zerk. That's right. We'll see about it. We'll see.
And let me just say, having someone who is a good invader makes a huge difference. Now, granted, I would take someone who's just really good at operating one of the guns on the ship, as that does a lot of damage. To me, invading ships are in the moments that I feel like my crew is getting overtaken and the enemy ship is just dealing too much damage. And that's where I need to push in and just cause chaos. What's even crazier is that you can actually invade a ship and steal their weapons. If they got a purple cannon that's really, really good, dude, take it and immediately dip. And then you could put it on your own ship and use it against them. It's chaotic as hell, guys. And that's one thing that you'll notice about Wildgate, is that from the very beginning to the end, it's pretty much...
Hey, look, there's like a breach in the enemy ships. You can go in through the breach and like take their crap, you know?
Constant action, from rushing points of interest to killing PvE enemies to doing the hardest encounters possible to getting the best drops and upgrades for your ship. All of these will hopefully contribute to you and your team achieving victory. Now, let me just say this is just one of those games where you could do everything right. You can have all the best upgrades, but if two ships come together and decide they're going to take you out, fellas, there's not a whole lot you could do. But the best you can do is just dip and hope they start fighting each other. And normally in these situations, it's actually best to be the third person to engage.
Of course.
Granted, if it's just a really good ship with a really good crew, dude, they will mess you up so fast. I literally had an enemy crew swapping weapons on the fly and then proceeded to put on a ram as they made contact with us, completely duping us out because you can visibly see the ram, but they swapped it right at the last second and did a tremendous amount of damage to us, destroying our ship. And when your ship reaches 0, that's it. It's over. Now, if you're on the ship, you'll actually die with it. But if you're off the ship...
Dude, I did the flame turret a lot too back in the day. This makes sense. This is most games now. You have to watch the third party, but you got to remember, getting third partied, it basically means that you shouldn't have engaged in the first place. Games like this, one of my favorite wars to wage is the war of attrition. When I would play StarCraft, when I would play Command & Conquer, when I would play any of those games, I absolutely would do the war of attrition. I would not claim an area. I would stop you from claiming an area. So I'm not necessarily going to engage them, or I'm going to go full throttle. There's really no in between with me. Either I'm like making sure you can't get it, or I'm just punching you in the face, just starting to just camping out. This looks pretty sick.
And away from it, you'll still be alive, but you can't respawn. Regardless, though, you can still grief the enemy team for as long as you can until they finally take you out. Now, upon destroying an enemy ship, all of their loot is up for grabs. Oof. Every single upgrade the ship has to offer, including their ship core. This will increase the health of your own vessel, giving you a major advantage in any of your later engagements. Now, I know some of you may be tempted to classify Wildgate as like a team-based extraction shooter. And while, yes, you do technically extract an artifact, nothing you find in the game actually carries.
You just shot a bug off the side of the ship. I'm noticing that every single thing has a purpose on the surface, and there's also depth to it. There's counterplay, there's decisions, things you have to do as a team. That's pretty awesome.
Over between matches. The one thing that does change as you play is your account unlocks, customization, new ship unlocks, new class unlocks, things like that.
Whoa.
But this is not a looter shooter or an extraction shooter, which brings me to Wildgate's progression and equipment.
Yeah.
I would say everything in this game is very easy to understand. The character you play in the game is called a prospector. And as of the beta, there will be 7 prospectors to choose from, each with their own intrinsic abilities. For instance, the robot Venture doesn't require oxygen, which is really nice because
is the Venture, bro. But look at this, is kind of interesting. It's a robot that does not require oxygen, regenerates health faster. He has a bot that like warns someone when an enemy's behind him and his health is 100. And then every single person can do something different. So this is intriguing. I like the ship design. The character design, again, it's very joyful. Built like a Venture. Exactly, I tell you.
Require oxygen, which is really nice because you need oxygen as you traverse space outside of the ship. Samo will heal after a kill.
Samo, ship defender, be gone. While on your ship, heal 100% after blasting a prospector. Whoa, so after you hit somebody with a, I guess, damage somebody, you get back to 100%. There's got to be a cooldown there or something, but that's still sick. The quiet, see enemies inside your ship through walls, range 20 meters. Very interesting. Health 120. So this is the guy like, I'm going to stay on the ship. I'll stay with the ship. You go out in space. I'm not going anywhere. You know, he can, but he gets benefits when he's in the ship. That's really cool.
While on your ship, which makes him a great defender for the ship. Morphs fly 30%.
Moths. Oh, because he's a moth with an eagle. Sure. Camouflage. Activate, move faster. Actions cancels. Replaced mag hook, 15-second duration. You activate it to move faster. If you do any action, it cancels it. It replaces your mag hook. So I guess you do. He's a boarder. Wings, you fly 30% faster, lower health. So this is your like, I'm going to go out. This is your scout. This is your go out further in space kind of guy. And
faster, and so on and so forth. These characters are pretty standout in difference, both in their look and especially their abilities.
That's cool.
Now, when you first start out, most of these characters will be locked behind a level.
Go back. I want to see what Ion is. There was another one. You kind of sped through that one.
Characters will be locked by
Ion, battering ram. He just has battering ram. Melee attacks deal 2% damage and can destroy ship parts. Very, very cool. 4 arms. He does have 4 arms. That's crazy. He has 4. Automatically reloads your stowed weapon. Yo, that's such an interesting flavored text. You're shooting and your other 2 arms are in the background, just like reloading your crap. That's so funny. I like that.
Level 1 of an adventure. But when you hop over to the rewards tab, you'll see that there are 7 adventures, each themed around a specific prospector. And you can select whichever adventure you'd like as your
adventure. Looks and sounds like a battle pass. Battle passes are not bad. We've talked about this. I don't dislike them. The problem is a lot of companies take the battle pass and they squeeze more than they provide. They squeeze money out of you instead of providing you more value the more you play. I'll tell you how this one is when we start playing
active adventure. And when you earn XP from daily missions and completing matches, you'll then level up and earn the rewards available on that adventure track. Each one of these adventures contains things like skins, emotes, sprays, weapons, equipment, as well as ships. So a big incentive.
Earnable cosmetics showing you've been there is one of the best things you can do in a PvP/multiplayer game. We all remember playing Halo 1 or 2, whichever, where when you had somebody in a match with a Hayabusa helmet, you knew you were about to have a good time. You know, we need that kind of stuff.
Here to level up multiple of these adventures to flesh out your entire arsenal. Now, let me just say, guys, these are not small bonuses. What weapons and equipment and the ship that you bring into a match completely alters how you play. Do you want an attack drone stationed at your ship? Or would you rather have a shield and grenade for when you raid enemy ships? Would you rather fly quickly and evade all enemies on the map? Or are you going to destroy every ship on sight? Each piece of your loadouts can be adjusted to fit your playstyle, even down to the name of your ship. At Wildgate's core, this has been such a fun game to play, guys. I don't know what it is, but what this game is trying to do just resonates with me so much. The blend of PvE and PvP, the upgrades, the different prospectors, the huge map that we can traverse. This game just hits. And from its closed beta to its open beta, I think this game is only going to get better when it launches in July. So far, monetization wise, I believe it's just a one-time purchase of $30, but we are definitely going to be keeping a close eye on this one.
$30. That's great. Multiplayer for the win, my friends. We like multiplayer
I
here.
can say it's
In
just
this
from
house,
my experience.
we
playing
play with
this.
people.
This is a game that I think you, your friends, hell, even your family would have an absolute blast playing. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
I tell you. Interesting look at Wildgate. Chat, definitely go check out Aztec Cross's video. We absolutely don't have to introduce him. He knows. He's known in the space. He'll hit 1 million subs before I do, at the very least. We'll see about it. Really cool. We're going to be checking out Wildgate literally today on stream. If you want our definitive what the heck is up with Wildgate, make sure to come back and sub right here for more space games and guides. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks.